The assassins have always been synonymous with danger, which is exactly why many people would automatically assume that the assassins would have a short life expectancy. But contrary to popular belief, many of these assassins have lived long and healthy lives. Now, I'm not insinuating that all of these assassins lived for 100 years with peace and prosperity. That's obviously not possible given their chosen profession, but the lifespan of many of these assassins is definitely longer than you'd expect them to be. But with that being said, there's one unfortunate trinket here. As and when Ubisoft has released more and more Assassin's Creed games, they've paid less and less attention to the fates of their protagonists. For some reason, the developers don't think it's necessary for them to address the ends of our favorite murderous heroes. It is in fact shocking and a huge letdown. I mean, all of us would want to know exactly what happened to our favorite assassins now, don't we? And also, don't the players deserve to know what happened? Because the creators have left the fates and the endings of so many of these assassins completely ambiguous. It's really a slap in the face of longtime fans. Closure is something that everyone looks for. As unfortunate as that is, we still have data on exactly how long many of these assassins lived, which is exactly what the topic is today, because today in this video we're going to talk about how long each of these assassins lived. Number 11, Eivor. Talking about ambiguous endings, we still don't know exactly what happened to Eivor at the very end. All that we know about her is that she died in Vinland. Another mystery here. Eivor, who was born in 847 AD, has a confirmed lifespan of at least 40 years of age. The last record of her being alive was during the siege of Paris, which probably took place in 886 AD. But that's all we know about Eivor. What happened after is a complete mystery, unfortunately, and many of the players are waiting to find out exactly what happened to her next. And so many players also hope that she comes out in a sequel, but I'd just like to say that I'm not one of them. Next, number 10, Edward Kenway. The story of Edward Kenway is one of the most tragic in the entire Assassin's Creed series. Without a doubt, this menacing pirate was born in the year 1693 on the 10th of March, and he lived one of the most adventurous lives of any of these people, I can assure you about that. But the tragic part is he lost everyone he ever loved, all of his friends, everyone he cared for, only to finally find purpose through the assassins at the very end in Black Flag. And after retiring from the pirate life, Edward finally settled down with a beautiful woman and had a family. But unfortunately, on the 3rd of December 1753, Edward was killed in Queen Anne Square. And the hit was ordered by then Templar Grandmaster Reginald Birch. This man only had a lifespan of 42 years, and I'm willing to bet that those 42 years must be the most thrilling and adventure-filled in any man's life. Next, number 9, Bayek of Siwa. Another end that's left ambiguous, but in this case I'm hoping that they've left it so because they want to make a sequel. If you ask me, Bayek of Siwa still deserves at least one sequel. That's the bare minimum. There were so many aspects of this character that were left undiscovered, and every time I think about it, I just hope and pray that the creators come out with a sequel for one of the best written characters in the entire series. But now talking about his lifespan, this man lived for at least a confirmed 45 years. Born in the year 85 BC, the Medjay from Siwa is literally the founding father of the assassins. What we do know up until now is that he at least lived for 45 years. But who knows how many more stories this man has to tell, and I hope we get a lot more. Next, number 8, Connor Kenway. I was literally shocked when I found out that Connor only had a lifespan of 48 years. I was expecting this menacing assassin to have lived a lot longer. Born in the year 1756 on the 4th of April, this man in the Assassin's Creed series is one of the most important players in the formation of one of the most powerful countries in the world, the United States of America. And Connor without a doubt literally steered the entire revolution the way he wanted to. This man died in the year 1804, and there's also a Templar propaganda that he died all alone and his family left him during his final days. But that is in fact not true. The Templars did this only to mislead people into thinking that the assassins are evil, which is why they lived out lonely lives at the very end. So it's more likely that he lived a good life with his family and probably died of an accident or something like that. But 48 years is exactly how long he lived. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Next, number 7, Ezio Auditore. Born to a nobleman and a banker, Giovanni Auditore, and his wife Maria Auditore in the year 1452 on the 24th of June. When you talk about exceptionally written characters, Ezio is literally the first one that comes into my mind. This man has lived such an incredibly vivid and eventful life that when we finally saw this character pass away, there was only a smile and a tear in my eye. they gave him the fitting end. He died at the age of 65 in the year 1524. See, this can also relate to the point I was mentioning before, how in the initial years of the Assassin's Creed, they were giving proper endings to their protagonists. Not only Ezio, but also his predecessor Altair received such an amazing end. It was fitting and they went out like a hero. But more about Altair later. Talking about Ezio, he died with his family near him, and the beautiful part is he had lived a life in which he not only helped change the course of history, but also he helped countless number of people, and also his journey is the only one where you see him from the very day he was born to the day he finally passed away. You witness the entire beautiful and amazing journey, and although in my opinion he was gone too soon at a tender age of 65, not that tender, I agree, but the fact of the matter is, despite being kind of short, his life was definitely extraordinary. Next, number 6, Evie Frye. Unfortunately, this is another ending that was left up in the air. But what we do know is Evie Frye was born in the year 1847, and she at the very least lived till the age of 68. In 1914, when the First World War started, she and Jacob was moved to the countryside for their own safety by the assassins, and that's all that's mentioned about her. So it's safe to assume that she lived at least till the year 1914 and maybe up to an age of 75 plus, who knows. But what we do know for certain is the last time we heard from her, she was 68 years old. That's not a short lifespan, to be honest. And I wish that the creators gave us more answers, but well, what do you know, Ubisoft simply does not give a shit about their protagonists once they've run their course, and the fate of Evie Frye is uncertain. Next, number 5, Jacob Frye. Shockingly, Jacob Frye lived a long and prosperous life. He lived till the age of 85. Now, can you believe that? With his portrayed nature, I would have expected him to be dead a long time ago. But Jacob Frye, who is the brother of Evie Frye, born in the year 1847, he lived until 1932. Now, what do you know? A big mouth doesn't get you killed all the time. It's really shocking. Although the details of his death are vague at best, his lifespan still shocks me, and I'm sure he was notorious till the very end. Next, number 4, Arno Dorian. It's like as and when we move towards the upper half of the list, I'm getting shocked more and more. Can you believe it? Arno lived till the age of 87, born in the year 1768 on the 26th of August to an assassin father, Charles Dorian. This man had a really tragic life, and even after the love of his life died, Arno still continued in the assassin path, and I'm genuinely shocked to learn he lived till 87. I still can't get over it, because if you expect anybody to not live a long life, it would probably be Arno and Jacob. And you know what? These assassins have two of the longest lifespans in the entire series. He died in the year 1855, and although his life was not happy, he lived a long one for sure. Next, number 3, Shay Patrick Cormac. The longest lives have been lived by those people you would least expect to. You know, you'd think that a person who's betrayed the assassins and stabbed them in the back would probably be hunted down by these hooded murderers and slayed at the very first sighting. But that's definitely not what happened now, did it? Although it's not known exactly how and when Shay Patrick died, one thing's for certain that he at least lived till the age of 90. Now, how did I get to that conclusion? Let me tell you. At the very end of Assassin's Creed Rogue, when he finally kills Charles Dorian, he was probably around 40 years of age. And it's kind of fair to assume that he did not marry up until that point. So whatever family he had was post the age of 40. So even if you assume that he got his Templar affairs in order and married at the age of 43 and had a child at 44, that's really late into his life. And it's very clearly mentioned that Shay Patrick trains his own grandson to be a Templar. So if he had a child at 44 and had a grandson at around 70, by the time that kid grew up and he started training him and then finally was done with it, Shay would be at least 90 years of age. So that's how I got to this number. You know what? Tell me down in the comment section below what you thought of my analysis. There are multiple stories and theories floating around all over the internet, so you can tell me your own. But what we do know for certain is that Shay Patrick was born in the year 1731, 12th of August. But even if he just lived till the age of 85, you know what? That's not a short lifespan at all, especially for a man who betrayed the assassins. I would have assumed that Connor would have hunted down Shay Patrick Cormac and assassinated him, but for what it's worth, I think Connor passed away even before Shay did. So that's a big shocker there. Next, number 2, Altair. Most of the long-time fans of the franchise would know exactly how this story panned out. Altair died at the age of 92 in the library at Masyaf. Born to an assassin father in the year 1165 on the 11th of January, one could say Altair was literally born to be an assassin. You might ask why I didn't say that about Ezio or Jacob and Evie, because even though Ezio was also born into the Brotherhood, he didn't realize his purpose until really later on in his life. And as far as Jacob and Evie are concerned, well, they were really doing their own thing. They were not nearly as pure of an assassin as Altair was. This man knew nothing else apart from the assassin life. He lived that way and he died that way. Talking about his death, he died on the 12th of August in the year 1257, and the beautiful part is he dedicated his entire life in making sure that the Brotherhood not only survived but thrived, and the entirety of the 92 years was spent serving the greater good. And now, number 1, Kassandra. This one is a little bit out there. You know what? It's really out there. Because according to the story, Kassandra lived for 2,400 years plus. She was alive during the Peloponnesian War until the day she handed over the staff of Hermes to Layla Hassan. 2,400 years plus of a lifespan. That's too much of a fantasy for me. But still, the number is a solid one, and it's one that the creators gave to us themselves. And the only, and I repeat, the only reason she was able to live this long was because of the staff of Hermes. And her lifespan is probably more than all of the other assassins combined and multiplied by 4. You know what? These kind of things are really not my cup of tea. I mean, come on, 2.4 plus millennia of a lifespan, are you kidding me? Although old school Assassin's Creed fans like myself dislike this, but the fact still remains that she had the longest lifespan amongst all of the protagonists in the Assassin's Creed series. And with that, we end this video, guys. Tell me down in the comment section below what you thought of the video. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. And if you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to the channel. It would really help this community grow. And also tell me down in the comment section below the lifespan of which assassin shocked you the most. Because for me personally, it was Shay Patrick's. And that's all for today, guys. See you in the next video. It's your boy VZX signing out.